Mic check, mic check. All right, I hope you guys can see me. I hope everything looks good. You guys are above 2 spray cans, a gel, and another thing because I have to go get the whatever it's called for the GoPro. But I know I haven't made a video because or any anecdote because of given the circumstances. When I've made the anecdotes, I have time. I have alone time. Right now we're going through what is it called? Quarantine. And so the kids are here. That's why I'm in the restroom. And the wifey's working right now too. So I hope you guys can hear me. But I have a story to tell. And this story, I've honestly been struggling to talk about it because it's a very good story. Not only for people, how can I explain this? People in general, and also for like teenagers. Okay, this story is more directed to that person, to that individual that is gonna go through stuff or is going through some hard times as far as how can I explain this? What the hell? Oh wow. Let me fix this up. Alright. I beefed up my stand. Alright, let's see. What's going on? Alright, mic check, mic check. I beefed up my what is it called? I beefed up my tripod. I guess you guys could call it that. Para que se vea bien todo el pedo. So, back to this story. This story is for the person that is struggling, that is thinking of taking the wrong routes, taking the wrong turns. And it's a story about my life. I'm sharing it with you. So you can think about the consequences. Think about uh, the shit that you're gonna get yourself into. Okay, guys. If you are a person that is thinking like, oh, you know what? Like right now, the stress of money issues, right? And it's always an issue in our society. And well, let me talk to you guys about the story, and then you guys will get my point. So I'm gonna paint a picture and tell you guys the what is it called? The dates around this. This is clearly about 15 years ago, I want to say. Okay, 15 plus years ago. I was already, excuse me. Oh wow. Oh, I'm trying to make this video, but everybody's really loud, so it's kind of hard to concentrate. So this video is the one of the first time that I really messed up and I lost my mom's trust completely. This dates to about 15 years ago. I was 15, 16, I want to say, and I was already like in high school. It was like my freshman year, I want to say, freshman or sophomore year, más o menos por esos años. And I like I've been saying in the other stories, I had already started messing around with drugs, and what I used to do is I used to sell them. The reason why I started doing that was because my mom was a single mom, a single parent, and around the age of 13, más o menos 12, is when she started getting sick. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. I was really young. She stopped working, and we were we're tight. Let's put it that way, right? Basically fucked, if you ask me. So what I did start noticing was I was working side jobs or whatever, doing the right thing, but where the money was at around my neighborhood uh, was was slanging. You know what I mean? People were doing a lot of weed, doing a lot of cocaine, doing a lot of drugs, right? Um, this neighborhood that we used to live in, the Lower Valley, right there by Riverside, no era, gosh, right now it's a beautiful neighborhood. Um, it's still, you know what I mean? Well, right now it's a beautiful neighborhood compared to back in those days. It was a struggle, right? The times that I lived there, um, it's a low income apartment based uh, place that we used to live in. So, um, ya estaba yo, ya, bueno, pues, en football. I was doing good in school, but I was struggling. Around that age, 13, 14, 15, you're going through puberty, you're going through hormone changes, you are, I was in football, I had to pass classes to play football, and not only was I doing that on one side of my life, but the other side of my life, I was hanging around with older crowds, I was drinking myself, I was dealing other stuff, and so it all came. It all was going. It was happening while I was going through all my changes, while I was still playing football, right? So in in the day that I messed up really bad was I was, let me put it to you this way. Um, I had I had a, I want to say about a pound of weed, right? Now, for those of you that know about weed, weed is very stinky. It's a very um, smelly drug, right? It looks like a bunch of grass, and you could smell it. Let's say I have it in my pockets for too long, it'll smell unless you have certain type of containers or whatever. So back in my day, there wasn't such thing as chronic. There was chronic, but around there, around my neighborhood, lo que se vendía era marihuana de Mexico, you know what I mean? Um, just regular bud, regular Reggies, if you guys want to call it that. But there was no such things as containers or stuff like that that would hide the weed. Now, given you could hide a dime, you know what I mean, which is like this much um, of weed, right? Like a little bulge. But I mean, imagine a pound. So a pound, I don't remember the prices on that, but it was pretty cheap compared to now. But when you flipped it, and what I mean by flipping is break it down, break the pound down into dime bags or dub sacks or into ounces. When you used to do that, o sea, you used to come up with double the amount of money that you made, if not even a little bit more. So that was my hustle. Not only was I playing football, I was doing good in school, but I still chilled with homies, and then I still chilled with the older crowd, and I would sell to the older crowd. Hey, ¿saben qué? Boom, dub, dime of weed and still make money. And I'm telling you guys, I remember going to home, and yeah, we had food stamps. Um, Thankfully, we had other stuff as far as like my doctor. Um, I always took physicals because of football, so we had what it took to survive. But let's say every third week from the food stamps, going on to the fourth week, till we got the food stamps again, because people that have food stamps get it once a month. Um, ya no había nada. Y pues yo estaba chiquillo and I was eating everything. O sea, like I would eat everything, man. Like how my daughter is right now. She eats everything on the damn fridge. If it's there, she's munching on it. And that's how I was. And now imagine playing football, a big kid, uh, you know what I mean, always needing food, and I used to tragaba machine, comía machine. So um, that was happening. Now in the end, the boom boom, and I got to a point when I was carrying uh, a brick or a pound of weed most of the times. So this is how I had my hustle. The thing is, mi mom ya como que was already catching on to me. So I was like, "No, mom." She was like, "Hey, what's going on?" or whatever. She'd ask me questions that didn't make sense unless she knew something. You know what I mean? But what I was doing a great job at hiding stuff. I was very good at living a double life. Um, this specific day where I fucked up, um, I really fucked up because so I bought the pound, right, and what I used to do is I used to put the pound, break it down, and then put it in a bunch of little baggies ready for sale, right? So I had this bag. This was like a bag, según yo, right, to disguise that I had the pound on me. And this little bag was like a purse, like a woman's purse, right? And so I would carry that woman purse inside of my backpack, my school backpack, saying that it was my girlfriend's purse or whatever, right, at the time. And what I would do is that I would go to school porque I couldn't leave the bag at my mom's house because she was already kind of iffy, and because I knew that if I left it there, the stench of the bag was gonna um, raise questions in her head, and she was gonna smell it. So, well, pues ese día was a good day. I think it was a weekend, I believe. If I'm not forgetful, right? I think it was a weekend, and so in that bag, ya tenía todo, pum, 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 pum. And then I had like half a brick in that bag, and then I had another half brick hidden somewhere else. Okay, so um, that day came about. I went to school, and I went to school carrying that. Okay, um, boy, lunchtime. Okay, but you. There are a lot of people knew me by Ruben or by B-Man. Hey, but you B-Man, ¿qué tranza? What do you got or whatever? No, pues ahí les va. I would show it, boom, in lunchtime. All the kids, well, the guys, that, hey, pues, let me have this, let me have that. Sales, boom, 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 boom. I had gotten, I did a lot of sales that day. Um, yeah, school was over. Um, I had, I had a decent amount left over in the bag because, of course, not all of it sold. Um, and then what I did is I started making more bags. Boom, boom, boom. My mom wasn't there. I think at the time, what was she doing? She was sick. I think she was sick or she was going to night school. One of those two things. Entonces, me, pendejo, um, I got everything organized again, right? But my back, so I got the weed, broke it down, and then put it in the bag, boom, 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 in the purse, and then put the purse in the bag in my backpack. And then my backpack, I threw it in my fucking closet. Boom, threw it in my closet. And I was like, ah, I'm set, ready for next week. Yo acá bien chida, me valió madre, and I took off. Boom, I took off. I went outside. We used to go outside of those apartments, and we used to play football, soccer. I went outside. Boom. Entonces, um, I got back home. I want to say like 3 hours later. Yeah, boom. Oh, yo muy chida, todo sudado from playing sports or whatever. And my mom's right there. And she's like, hey. She's like, ¿qué estás haciendo? And I was like, nada. I was like, I just got home. And she's like, oh, okay. And I saw her face. Una cara, y'all know when you've already fucked up. Um, my mom's tone was different. Um, she was very angry, disappointed, like more than anything, disappointed. And she tells me, she's like, pues, ¿qué estás haciendo, Ruben? And I'm like, nada, mom, I just came back from playing sports. What the fuck? And she's like, oh, yeah? I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay. ¿Qué es esto que huele en tu cuarto? And I'm like, haciéndome pendejo, of course. I'm like, ¿de qué habla, Jesús? And she was like, okay. Vente, let's go to your room. And right there and then I knew she had smelled it or something. So yo haciéndome pendejo, I was like, no, pues qué es esto? She goes right to it, goes right to my bag and puts it in my bed. Pues qué chingados es esto, Ruben? Very mad, very disappointed. I saw her tone was different. And I was like, no, pues, I didn't want to tell her like, oh, pues, I need money, right? It was kind of like she was very disappointed in me, right? So she's like, pues, ¿qué chingados es esto? She's like, ¿qué estás haciendo? And I was like, look, mom, I was like, ya, forget it, pues es marihuana. Le dije, la estaba vendiendo, le dije, pero pues ya, olvídalo, pues. And she's like, tíralo, go throw that shit away. She's like, don't be doing that shit, that shit's not good for you. And she was right, that shit wasn't good for me. The thing is that I needed money, to be honest with you guys. But I needed money. I was doing other stuff to get money, honest money, but that money was a little bit extra. You know what I mean? But it wasn't worth it, to be honest with you. It was a lot of stress, hiding everything from her. It was a lot of stress carrying that shit on your person, and walking by teachers, walking by your principal, walking by security guards, and you have a pound in your fucking backpack. Imagine that shit. But fuck all that. She tells me, pues tíralo a la fregada. She's like, she brings me into the restroom. And she tells me, she's like, tíralo pues. She's like, I can't believe you. She was pissed off. Pissed the fuck off. And anybody that knows my mom, if you guys have seen her in videos, es muy calmada, mi jefa. Muy calmada. Nunca se enoja así. Nunca. And she made me throw away whatever I had in the bag. And that's the day that I fucked up. And I lost her trust completely. I was like, no, ya voy a tirar todo esto. And she made me throw that shit away in the toilet. And me, in those moments, I was like, fuck, that's $10. Fuck, that's $20. Fuck, that's another 30. Like, fuck, dude. Not knowing that none of that shit matters. None of that money matters when you're losing full trust of your parent. The one person that is always going to be there for you. The one person that no matter what the fuck you do is going to love you. That shit is gold. Not the 10, $20 that you're going to make off of weed, of whatever drug you sell. The trust that I lost that day was immense, was hurtful. So I throw away that stuff. And like I'm telling you, my mentality was like, fuck money. I still had some other shit stashed up. And she took off to the mail, bien enojada. So en lo que eso hizo, ¡pum! Fui a agarrar toda la pinche mota que traía. ¡Pum! You know what? I'm not gonna lose. But it's gonna be a hard trip. It's gonna be a hard road to get her trust back. But I can't have another stash there. But I also can't throw it away in the toilet, right? So I called some dude. I was like, hey, ¿sabes qué, bro? Traigo este pedo. Es como media libra, poquito más o menos. I was like, do you want it? I was like, I'll sell it to you. I sold it to him for like 3/4 of what the cost was, right? So I was still losing on it, but I wasn't gonna lose all the money, if I'm not mistaken. And he's like, you know what? He's like, come through. He's like, I got you. And I was like, all right. So I go, boom. ¿Qué, güey? ¿Qué tranza, loco? No, no. Le dije, es que la cagué con mi jefita. Pues ya. He's like, oh, fuck, bro. He's like, no, pues trucha. And I was like, no, no, Simon. Boom. Gave him the half a pound. He gave me some money. Yeah. That was, okay, go back home. And she was there. That look that you get from your parent. You know what I mean? When you fucked up, when you lose your trust, it's something that you won't forget. So not only did I lose my mom's trust, lost money, and for months, guys, months, and when I mean months, I mean months. This lady was disappointed. No me hablaba. Mad at me. Pa' todo, ever since that. ¿Qué, pa' dónde vas? No, mom, voy a estar acá. I was already laying low. ¿Qué, pa' dónde vas? No, pues voy a estar acá afuera. And she would go look for me. She would look for me in the apartment, outside in the apartment. I would just be chilling there. She would pop up. Ah, qué bueno. Oh, might be over here. Ah, qué bueno. For months, guys, months. I honestly want to say almost a year. Hasta que ya empezó a calmarse un poquillo más. But the bigger picture here, or what I'm trying to get across, is for that person, for that individual that is thinking about doing something like that. It's not worth it, dude. It's not worth it, girl, guy, whatever you are. Not worth it at all. The pain that you cause your parents, the pain that you cause others is not worth 10, 30, 100, 200 bucks. The trust, losing the trust in someone is sucks, man. So for you guys that are out there, that are gonna go through all this stuff, that are going through this or thinking about this, don't do it. Just stay your bitch ass broke, or find a good route and stick with it. Don't try to take un poco para hacer una poquita más feria. You know what I mean? Ay, pues es que te hace fácil. Pues esto, whatever. Dude. None of that shit is worth losing a parent's trust or your love's trust, because I know there's men that have their wife or their chick, and pues I'm gonna go slang some dope for the family. But then you don't consider it. What if somebody snitches on you? What if you get pulled over and you get busted with that shit? Now your family, your wife is gonna lose you. You know what I mean? They're gonna be without a dad. That person's gonna be without her husband. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story. For those of you that are new to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe. If you guys have any comment or questions about this story, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. And share this. It really helps my channel out. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't lose trust. Don't lose someone's trust over shitty money. Okay? Be wise. Be smarter than that, guys. Peace out. I'm going to make another video ASAP. Peace.